Thank you, David Adams. Good morning, everybody. How are we doing today? Okay? The lesson today is on hope. Born in 1903, living to be 100 years old, Bob was an outstanding comedian. Bob Hope? I'm sorry, folks. If this is your first time here, sometimes it doesn't. I thought that was hilarious. I'm going to do the talk on hope, the spiritual power, and then not a single laugh. Nobody got it. Well, seriously speaking, I'm going to talk about the spiritual power of hope. Each and every one of us has it. And hope is not some willy-nilly, pie-in-the-sky, wishful thinking, but it's actually a power. It's a power within you. It's a spiritual power that has influence over your future. Hope within us creates ideas. It creates a potential for what is not yet in our reality to manifest. Now, a lot of people hope for many different things, but hope is just not a one-time thought. Hope is the beginning of a track, a beginning of a path that you have to take the first step on. If you hope for something, that hope will generate within you ideas to manifest it into your reality. But that calls for you to do something. You can't just hope and hope and hope. Peter Ebbers, my good friend, told me a story this week about a man who wanted to win the lottery so bad that day and night he prayed to win the lottery. He never did. When he died, he went to heaven. He went straight to God, and he says, "It's a good man. I raised a good family. I did good work for the world. Why wouldn't you let me win the lottery?" And God said, "You got to buy a ticket." That's a little better. You're warming up now. Hope calls on us to do something. Hope will make something happen, and that will not happen without hope. Now, I'll share a story. It's a simple story. It's a make-believe story about the power of hope. There's a community of animals that lived in a canyon that only had one outlet. And one day a fire started. At the opening of the outlet, they were trapped back against the canyon wall. The fire was spreading closer and closer to them. It looked as if they were doomed. Well, one little bird, a little bluebird no bigger than a child's hand, was flying back and forth over the canyon, and it saw its animal friends trapped. The little bluebird felt he had to do something, and the only thing he could think of was to fly to a river about a mile away, fill his beak up with water, fly back and sprinkle it on the fire. And then he immediately did it again and again. The other birds in the air laughed at him, they mocked him, they chided him. He's attempting to do the impossible. Why doesn't he accept the inevitable? He will never have any effect at all on the fire. But the little blue bird persisted. Well, the angels in heaven felt the heat from the fire, and they looked down and they saw the little blue bird traveling back and forth with a single drop of water to put in the fire. And they also wondered, what makes this bluebird think that he can make a difference? As they watched him, they became filled with compassion. They were so overwhelmed by the bluebird's dedication, they began to cry. And the cries, tears had rained down on the earth and put out the fire. Now, that's a simple little story. But the fact of the matter is, if you're in a situation in your life that does not look good, if you're having a problem or a challenge of some sort that you don't think you can get around, if you're just in a place that is very dark and dismal, hope is the belief that you have the power to change the condition of your life. It's quite simply that. As soon as you hope something to come into your reality, something that's only in your mind at this point, you hope for something to come into your reality, your mind goes to work and starts providing you with options, providing you with the different solutions, providing you with opportunities that help you make that happen. Now, this is a very simple story. It's a personal story that doesn't have a lot of spiritual sense to it, but is based on that spiritual power of hope, that when you hope, you will be given ideas that will come to you. I live in an apartment building on the second floor. Right outside my apartment, there's a tree, a nice tree. And I get a lot of foot traffic going by, so I like sitting in front of the window and watching the art students or people going to the museum or other people walking by for one reason or another. It's a beautiful time for me to just people watch. One day, the wind blew one of those plastic grocery store bags, and it snagged on the tree right in front of my window. You might think that's not a big deal, but it is. And I sat there and I hope another gust of wind comes by and blows that plastic bag out of the tree. I hope somehow it'll become loose and blow away. But it didn't. It just snagged there. And it became more and more upsetting. I began to hope for the wind. Every night I sat there to blow it away. I hope the wind will blow it away. I hope the wind will blow it away. The wind could not blow it away. So then it dawned on me, what is it I really want? Well, I want the wind to blow it away. Well, I don't have control over the wind. I don't have power over the wind. What do I really want? I want the bag to go away. And a little voice in my head said, well, does it make any difference if the wind blows it away or if it disappears some other way? I don't care. I just want it to go away. The minute I changed my hope from the wind blowing it away to I hope it goes away anyway, an idea came to me. And the idea was triggered by 3 young art students walking down the sidewalk. I threw open my window and I yelled out at them, "You guys want to make $10? One of them said, "Sure, mister, what do we have to do?" And I said, "Get that bag out of the tree." And they said, "How?" I said, "That's what I'm paying you $10 for." So they put their heads together, they walked over to the tree. One of the art students put his hands down, boosted the other guy up. He grabbed hold of a branch, crawled up the tree like a monkey, reached out, grabbed the sack, went back down. I crumpled up $10 and threw it out. Everybody was happy. It's just those simple little things in life that have a way of tickling us, don't they? A research company, pharmaceutical research company, did a study to see the effectiveness of an antidepressant drug. And it was a blind study, which means that the people who were being involved in the research didn't know what they were getting. The administrators didn't know what they were giving. Only the people behind the scenes knew what the pills were. So they put them in 3 different groups. One was the actual medicine that Group A got. The other one was what they call a placebo. And a placebo is nothing more than a sugar pill. It doesn't have any healing properties at all. But the people who take it don't know that. And in the third group, the people got a placebo, but they added something to it that would give them the feeling that they had taken a drug. It had an effect to it of some sort. So the results were, the people that got the actual drug, 80% of them indicated a higher level of wellness from depression. The placebo people that got the sugar pill, 7% felt that they had a change in their disposition. The group that had the placebo, plus the added ingredient of making them feel like they were affected by something, had an 80% wellness recovery. The same as the people that actually got the drug. And what it was, when they felt something going on within their body, their hopes came up, oh my God, I got the real thing, I might be free of this depression. And one of the researchers said, if we can put a hope in a bottle and dispense it, it's more powerful than any antidepressant in the world. Now, most of us here have been up and down the path. We've been in times that were very difficult. We've had great losses. We've had setbacks. You know yourself, when you're in that place that's dark and doom and gloom, it's very easy to hope less. And there's no greater suffering than being hopeless. Hopeless means that you always have the power to change the conditions of your life. Hope means that you have an idea in your mind that's not yet showed up in your reality, but you know that it will. Hope means that what you can see in your mind, you can conceive and create in your life. Now, the thing about hope, and the key to hope, is that it has to be realistic. We have spiritual powers. We don't have superpowers. And I'd love to stand here right now and tell you that if you have hope, and if you hope strong enough, you can buy that winning lottery ticket, but that's not going to happen. I'd like to be able to stand here right now and tell you that if you hope hard enough, you will age and become wrinkle-free. But that's not going to happen. I'd like to tell you that if you hope hard enough, whatever you wish for will come into your life. But that's not going to happen because the mind doesn't work that way. The mind works on emotion. Life is an emotional experience. That's the end result of everything. Everything you do, everything that you have, every relationship that you're engaged in, the end result is a feeling. And we want that feeling to be good. We want that feeling to be happy. We want that feeling to be kind. We want that feeling to be peaceful. Everything we do is aimed at a particular feeling. And that's the way the mind works. If I hope that I'm going to win the lottery ticket, and I hope and I hope and I hope, that hope is attached to how am I going to feel when that happens? What's it going to be like? How will I be? How will I feel? What can I do? And that brings joy and it brings excitement. And that's what the mind feels. The mind feels the emotion. It's not attached to the lottery. The mind has no concept of $100 million. It only has a concept of the feeling that goes with that. So oftentimes when we hope for things, we have it attached to some sort of material item or something that we want to see physically manifest in our lives. But what we really want is that which stands behind it, whether it's happiness or love or security, whatever it is. So when you hope for something, you have to hope for the feeling that is going to come from the image that you have. The lottery is just an image that I bring up to create a feeling within me. But what if I got that same feeling from something else and I didn't win the lottery? Wouldn't that be just as well? Of course it would. The mind deals with emotion. When we focus on a particular thing and our hopes activate us into action, we will move towards the feeling that we're looking for or something better. Hope never fails. It always can change the conditions of your life. You're never in a place where you are stuck. And if you ever find yourself hopeless, if you ever find yourself thinking that nothing's going to change, this is just what I'm stuck with, my life might as well be over, find one tiny little hope of how you'd like things to be. One tiny little hope. And Jesus said, if you focus on it, it's just like a tiny seed planted in the ground that can grow into the biggest bush. It's just like yeast that you put in the oven and it inflates and raises. It's just like anything that has the potential to grow. Hope allows us the ideas, the plans, the options to grow in our life exactly what we want so that we have that sensation of being alive and the feeling that is well. As we move into meditation, think about your life. How is it? Is there anything missing from your life right now? Is there anything in your life that you'd rather not have? Just think about that and allow yourself to step out, dare to step out and hope for a change. And when you hope for that change, see it in your mind, visualize it, because the mind is just like a field of rich soil. You can plant wheat that'll grow crops for food, or you can plant poison ivy, which will grow and produce itch, something, I don't know. But the mind is the same way. What you plant in it with emotion, it's going to manifest in your life. We'll now move into meditation. This is the time for meditation. It's a time for you to just release and relax. Find yourself free of anything that might be disturbing your mind. Find yourself free of anything that hampers your peace of mind or affects your well-being. And allow yourself to relax. Take a deep breath and slowly exhale. You do have the power to change the conditions of your life. You have the power to create an idea in your mind and see that idea manifest in your reality. Your divine inheritance is a good life. You are worth it. Your divine inheritance is a happy life. It's a life ripe with potential. And as I speak these words, please make them your own and say them to yourself. I am grateful to be alive. I am grateful to be me. And I am grateful to be here now. Once again, please say to yourself, I am grateful to be alive. I'm grateful to be me. I'm grateful to be here now. And I go forth with a peaceful mind, a peaceful heart, and a peaceful spirit. And so it is.